everyone. Welcome to the online classes. Myself, Sanjay Saha from the Department of Computer Science, Delhi Public School, Siliguri. In this entire week, I will be providing you 5 videos on the topic data file handling, and one more video I will be providing you where I will be discussing all the solutions of all the assignments which I will be providing you during the online classes from day 1 to day 5. I hope you all will be sincere in taking the classes and you will be regularly watching the videos in order to progress with your syllabus of class 12 prescribed by CBSE. Let's begin the chapter, and on day 1 I'll be discussing with you all the topics. Let us begin the chapter data file handling in Python. In today's class, I will be covering the topic introduction to file, need of file, advantages of file, type of file, functions to open file, and then close a file. So mainly on these topics I will be focusing today. Let me ask you, what is file? By seeing the images on the screen, you will tell me, sir, it is a folder where we keep our documents. Well, you are right. File is a folder where we keep our documents, in fact related documents, arranged in a proper order. And only one intention behind this, to keep in a folder, is that it makes us easy to carry, it makes easy to transfer from one place to another place, and you are able to put all the related records in one place. The best example I can take it, you must be keeping your certificate and all your achievements in one of your file. Have you ever thought why you are keeping in one file? The reason is that all related records you are keeping in one place, and if you had to carry to some other place, you can just carry the file in order to carry the entire document. So with the same concept, we require file in the computer system also. Then in that computer file, what we are going to store? In the computer file, we store all informations, data, and the concept remains same. It helps us to transfer data from one place to another place. It helps us to hand over the data to some other person. Then it helps us to share the data within another programs. So let me define what is a computer file. What is a computer file? A file is an object on computer that stores data informations in a permanent memory. Some of the examples of files are Excel file, Word file, PDF file, then audio file. So you are already aware about the different types of the files. Then why do we need computer files? As of now, whatever programs we are writing in the computer, at the time of executing it, we are providing the values which is required in the program through one of the standard input devices. And these values gets stored in the variables or maybe in one of the sequences like list, arrays, dictionaries, matrix, and based on that one, you get an output. Fine. Now you close the program. again you run the program. So in that case, what happens here? Again, you have to provide a new set of values in order to make your program function. That means the previous values are not stored in the program. Well, again you provide new values, again you will get some output. Again, after the execution gets over, again you want to run for the third time, again you have to provide different sets of values. My question is that how long you'll keep on providing the values? Even if you are able to provide the values, but at the end of the day or at the end of your working hour, you need to shut down your machine. The moment you shut down your machines, all these data which you have already provided in the program, for the time being, it is retained in the RAM portion. The moment you switch off the computer, all the data from the RAM gets erased off. So you are not able to use this data again on other day or some for other purpose here. But if you manage to send these data which you have provided in the program somehow in a file, that means in some external storage devices, then you are saving the data in the external devices that you can carry to the next day for some other work here. So for this reason, there is a need of the file here. Now let me summarize the advantages of the files. Data is stored in a permanent memory. Second thing, when the amount of data is growing up, then that moment we fall short of the variables, then it is better to store in a file. Easily we can store heterogeneous data or homogeneous data in one file only. After storing it in a file, it becomes easy for us to share the data, to send the data from one location to another location, or to share these data amongst the different programs. Then what are the types of the files supported in the Python? Mainly there are three types of files which are supported in the Python. One is the text file, other one is the binary file, third one is the CSV file. Now what is a text file? Text file is a sequence of line. A sequence of line is a set of characters. Either it is in Unicode or it is in ASCII code. Every line which you stored in a text file ends with the EOL, that is end of the line. And by default it is /n. And one good thing about the text file, once you store the text, at the back end you can open the file and directly you can view the content as you have provided. So there is no change in the format. So it is in the form of human readable form. The extensions which are used for the text file is .txt. Then next comes what is a binary file. Binary files are used to store binary data such as images, videos, audio files, and it stores as it is in physical memory storage. So the way you provide the data, thus in the same format it is stored in the binary file. That is why in compared to text file, reading and writing in a binary file is faster. There is no concept of EOL in the binary file, and the data which you provide or which you write in the binary file, directly you cannot read it, neither you can view it directly. So to read and write both, you need to take the help of the inbuilt function, that is read and write. With the help of only inbuilt function, you will be able to read and write into the binary file. Now let me bring out some of the differences between the text file and the binary file. In text file, the contents are stored using ASCII format. In the binary file, the contents are stored as it is in physical memory storage. In the text file, contents is in the human readable form. In the binary file, it is not in the human readable form. In the text file, each line is terminated by EOL, and there is no such concept in the binary file. Text files can be created by using text editor, and in order to create binary file, you need to take help of the inbuilt function. We can read the content of the text file from the backend by direct opening the file, because the contents are present in the human readable form. Whereas you cannot read the content of the binary file directly. To read and write, you need to take the help of the standard library function. Most commonly, the extensions which are used for the text file is .txt, and in the binary file, it is present in the form of .t, .dat, .jpg, .png, etc. Here. Now, what are the basic operations we can perform on the file? We can create a file, we can name a file, we can open a file, we can read the data from the file, we can write data into the file, and we can close a file. So these are the basic operations which we can perform on a file. Now, what are the ways we can process the files? We can process the files, we can read the files to display the content on the screen. We can append the data in the file, that means we can add more data in the file. We can insert the data in a file. We can delete some of the data from the file. We can update or modify the data present in the file. If required, we can create some another copy of the present file. Now let me tell you how to open a file by writing a Python program. So to open a file, you need to use the inbuilt function open. When you want to read or write a file, say on the hard disk, you must open a file, and for that purpose you have to use the inbuilt function open. Now the syntax to open a file is file object equals to open, and then within the bracket you need to specify two parameters, that is, one is the name of the file, second one is the access mode. Now I have given you one example. You see here f equals to open student.txt, then w. So open is a inbuilt function, f is the name of the file object, student.txt is the name of file, and w is the access mode here. Now what is access mode? I'll be discussing right now in the next slide here. The file modes defines how the file will be accessed. That means how you want to use the file. That depends upon the access you specified while creating the file. If you write R, then it will allow you only to open a text file only for the purpose of reading. If you specify W, then it will allow you to open a text file only for writing purpose. If your access mode is A, then you can open the text file only in the append mode. Append mode means previously you have created a file, you have some contents. Now you want to add some more contents into the file, then you have to open in a append mode. Now I'll tell you the difference between the append mode as well as the in the write mode here. Every time you open a file in the write mode, the previous contents gets erased off and the new one will be only staying in the file. But if you open in the append mode along with the previous content, you can add more contents into the file here. That means nothing will be erased off. Then we have RB, that is if you want to read a binary file. Then we have next is file access mode, that is WB, if you want to write something in a binary file. There are many more modes we'll be discussing afterwards as we progress with the teaching. Now, if you see the example here, I've taken one example how to use the access mode here. F equals to open notes.txt, comma R. That means notes.txt I will be opening in the reading mode. Now, if you do not specify this mode, then by default it will be considered as a reading mode here. That means you are trying to, or you can read the text file without mentioning any mode. Then it is compulsory, it is compulsory, or you can say it is conventional. Once you open the file, you need to close the file. Then how to close a file? You have to take the help of the object, that is file object dot close function will close the file. So these are the operations which we can perform on the file. Next comes, after creating, how to fill up the files with the content, or how to write the contents in the file. So for this purpose, there are two types of functions which allow us to write in a file. One is write and second one is write lines. If you see on the screen, then write, and within the parameter bracket it is a string, and write lines, sequence of lines. Now I'll be telling you when we are going to use write and when we are going to use the write lines here. The write method takes a string as a parameter and write it in the file. That means if you are using the write inbuilt function to write the content, to write the character, to write the anything in the file, then everything will be taken as a string form. That means if you want to store any number, you cannot write it down in a file. Simply you need to convert that number in a string format, then only write function will allow you to write in the file. In my programs, I will be demonstrating how to write the numbers in a file. Whatever contents you will be writing in the file, it will be in the continuous process. But if you need to write in the separate line, use the \n at the end of the string in order to send the content to the next line. Then next comes write lines method. Now with the write lines methods, we can write string also in the file. We can write the data which is present in the list, or say tuples or dictionaries in the file. So if you want to make use of the list or the tuples or the dictionaries, and you want to write the content of that one in the file, then you have to make the use of the write lines. The syntax is file object dot write line sequence. Sequence means either the list or the dictionaries, maybe the arrays. Next is appending a file. As I told you, appending means you will be able to write the content at the end of the file. So once you have created the file in the append mode, it is always you can add a new things in the last of the file, but the previous things will be written in the file. Now I'll be demonstrating the use of the open functions, write lines in the computer, and see the how the files are created. Let me show you how to create a text file. As I told you, there are two ways we can create a text file. One is by using a text editor, and the second one by writing a program in a Python. So let me show you the first method. For that purpose, I have chosen a notepad. So you open a notepad and you write some content here, like I am writing here, happy mind, happy life. Then second statement I am writing, your smile is your logo. So you go on writing the content as much as you want, but after that you save it by any valid name. Suppose I have given a name TRIAL trial and .txt. Now you need to decide where you want to store it. I want to store it on my desktop and in a folder file. So I will be saving here, and the file is created by the name trial.txt, and it is kept in the folder file which is present on desktop here. Now it is ready for manipulation. Any kind of manipulation like adding, updating, modifying, deleting, all this is possible on this file here. But while creating the file this way, there are certain constraints which I will be discussing you later on here. Now let me tell you how to create the same file, that is text file, by writing a Python program. If you see on the screen, I've written a small code which will be used to create a file by the name message.txt and in the write mode. Let's just understand what are the keywords I have used. F is a file object, then open is an inbuilt function, then under quotes you have a message1.txt, that's the name of the file which I want to create, and W is the mode of access. So presently this file will be created in the write mode. That means it will allow me to write. The second point which I like to mention here, where this file will be created and where it will get stored here. So this file will be created and it will be stored in the default directory where you have installed Python. So let us execute this one and see here. So no output is displayed, only the file is created and it is created in the default directory. So why after creating, if you want to verify, then you have to visit that directory, default directory where you have installed Python. There you will find this file. Then I am taking the second example. Like if you wish to create a file at the specified location, you don't want to create a file and keep it in the default directory. You have some other locations to store the file. So in that case, you need to provide a full path before creating the file. You see the first line, F is a file, object open is a inbuilt function. Then from C colon 2, that means till here, file slash is a path of my folder file where I want to keep the created file, that is message.txt, right? So you need to specify the full path of the folder where you want to keep the file. So if I execute this one here, so file message2.txt will be created, and now it is being created. Let us verify this one where it is. If you see here, now see here, that is message2.txt is present in my folder, that is file. So the file is created using the program written in Python. So now can you see both the files, trial.txt which we have created using the text editor, and message2.txt which we have created using the Python program. Now let us take example 3, what you have in this one here. In the example 3, again we are opening the file, or let's say creating the file message3.txt, but this time not in the write mode, it is in the append mode here. I had already explained you what is the difference between write mode and the append mode here. Every time we open a file in the write mode, you will find the file, that is file is blank. The previous content of the file will be get erased. But if you open in the append mode, the previous content will be retained, and along this you can proceed further here. You can add more records. Now one more difference is there. In place of front slash, I am using the backslash. So this is also accepted here. So you can try with both the things in the computer here. So till here, till file backslash double backslash, you have a path name here, and message3.txt is your file name, and A is the access mode, that is the append mode here. Let us execute and see the result. To verify, again we have to visit the folder. Now let's see here. Now find, can you see here message3.txt? It is a file which I have created. Again it has come to the folder file. Now let us take the fourth example. So that was the ways of creating the files. Now next example is how to write in a file. So here in this program I've taken the program how to write contents, how to write strings, how to in a file using the write function. So if you see the first line, F equals to open. So F is a file object, open is the inbuilt function, and from here to here is your path. That means where I am creating the file. So message1.txt I am creating on the desktop, and the name is message1.txt. F.write will write the word dynamic in the file, and F2 write, again cheerful will be written. F dot write excellent will be written. Now the question is how this will be written here. Whether it will be in the different lines or in the same line with the gap or with the without the gap. Let's see how this is. Okay. So these three words are written in the file. Let's see how this file is as you stored these things. So name was message one dot this. Now this is the content of the file. Dynamic, cheerful, excellent. So all is stored one after another without any gap. But you cannot afford to store like this. Then all the meanings will be diluted. Either you need to give space or you need to store it in different lines. In the next example, I'll be showing you how to give space while writing or how to write the contents in different lines. Now, see this example here. Again, I'm opening the file message.txt and this will be created. This will be opened in a write mode and this will be in the folder file which is present on the desktop. Now this time you see f.write, I've written beautiful /t and then f.write smile /t, then f.write cheerful. So what happens, because of the /t there will be a tab space between the strings at the time of writing. Let's see. Now you see here, same words beautiful, smile, cheerful I have written with the space, tab space. Now it has a meaningful. So that's your choice how you want to write in a file. Now you see I have taken a beautiful example where I am creating a file message3.txt in the write mode. I will be entering my name or let's your name, school name, and this will be displayed or this will be written in a file using \n. That means name will be displayed in a file and the school name will be displayed in the next line because of use of /n. Let's execute. So I'm entering here Sanjay Saha and school name Delhi Public School, and let's see how this got stored here. Now look at here. Sanjay Saha Delhi Public School is written in different lines. This was possible only by using /n at the time of writing. If you see on the screen, a small coding has been written. Now in this coding here, I'm trying to open a file or rather creating a file student.txt in the write mode. After that, I've taken a for loop to input name of 5 students and write it into the file. Write it into the file with the use of /n. That means it is going to ask name of the 5 students or let's say name of any 5 person and it will write in the file in different lines. Let us execute and see the Sanjay Saha, SN Sanjeev Pal, Deepak Kumar, DEBASHIS Devasis, CHAKRABORTY Devasis, VIKRAM Vikram, SHARMA. So I have provided 5 names, and let's see where it has stored and how it got stored here, in what format it is stored here. Now you see the file. Now let's take the example. I've written a small code to create a file student.txt in the folder file. After this, I've taken a for loop in order to repeat or in order to input name of 5 persons, and it will write into the file. Now I have taken an example in which I will be creating a file student.txt in the folder file, and then after I have taken for loop in order to accept 5 names, and I will write in the file. Let us execute this program and see how these values or the name of the persons got stored in the file here. Sanjay Saha, Deepak Kumar, Sanjeev Paul, Vikram Sharma, DEBASHI Devasis, CHAKRABORTY. Now see, let's see. Can you see here? Wow, all 5 names are stored in a file in a different lines. So it's become easy to create a file. You input the values and it comes to the file. So all that programs was based on the text file, and we were able to write with the right function. Now this example I have taken in order to explain you the uses of write lines. As I told you in the beginning, write lines, we can write strings in the file, we can make use of the list to write in the file, we can make use of the dictionaries, and then we can use write lines in order to write the values from the dictionary into a file. So let's see what is the output of this one here. For your information, let me repeat again here. F is a file object. Open is a inbuilt function that allow you to create a file object, and from here to here is the path of the file where I want to store my file which will be created, that is message5.txt, and W is the mode, in which mode I want to access the file. Right now I want to access in the write mode. So I have written f dot write lines happy mind, f dot write lines happy life here. Let us execute and see the output. Now let us verify also where it is. It has gone now. So it was message 5. Now see happy mind and happy life. So happy mind is a one string, then happy life is another string. So both got joined. This is how you find the values in the string here. I've taken the values in the list and I'm trying to write in a file using write lines. Just here, I've created a file message.txt in the write mode and again in the same folder file, and this is the location of my folder file, and open is a reserve word which will create a file object, and f is the name of the file object. Now f equals to write lines. Now the entire value I have taken in a list. That means Raman, 100 slash n, Syam, 99. So I'm writing the file using the list. Let's see how this got here. Again, let us verify. So message.txt. Now look at here. So one list, Raman, 100, it is coming in the first line, and Syam, 99, it is coming in the second line. Because I have used slash n at the end of the list. So that is why the entire list is written in one line, and because of slash n, the next list is written in the next line. Now you see this example here. I am trying to open a file message 7.txt in the write mode on my desktop, and again I am using the list, but here the elements of the list is terminated with slash n. So all entire content is in one list, but every element is terminated with slash n. So as a result, what will happen? Passionate will be written in the first line and determined will be written in the second line. Let's execute and see the result. Now you see a passionate and determined is written in the different line because it was terminated with slash n. Every element in the list it was terminated with slash n. That's the reason it is written in a different line here. Now this program I have compiled and it is based on the whatever programs we have done. Actually in this program I am taking the name of the students and the marks of 5 subjects, and I am writing the file. This is very interesting program. Let's see. While teaching, I told you that is you cannot write a numbers directly in a text file. So you need to convert into a string format. So this program will give you the idea how to convert numbers into strings and write it into the program, a file. So here I've taken the loop which will take care how many values you want to repeat or how many values you want to write in the file. So all is depend upon the user's choice here. Let us execute and see here. Suppose I want to execute the program for 3%. So enter the name AKASH Akash and enter the English marks. Suppose 90, physics marks 99, chemistry marks 100, computer marks 100, maths marks 99. Again it is asking for the other students. So second student happy, English marks 98, physics marks 99, chemistry marks 90, computer marks 100, and maths marks 90. Again, I will ask me another name here. Susil, English marks 99. Then again physics marks 90. Then again chemistry marks 100. Then computer marks 100. Then maths marks 90. So this is the end of the entry. Now let's see how this data got stored in the file. First of all, the name of the file is write8.txt, and I've stored in the file folder. Wow, see, name of the student and along with the name, marks of 5 subjects are stored. So easily you can create a database by this method. Now you see I have entered the number which was in the numeric form, but it is written in the file. Let me again explain you that program. Now I am accepting English as integer marks, physics as integer marks, chemistry as integer marks, computer as integer marks, maths as integer marks. While writing name, comma, so comma is the separator which I am putting from my side, and str English will convert the English marks in a string format. And again I am writing the plus sign, again comma, and a string of physics. That means physics marks will be converted into a string. So in this way we are joining all the strings together and making as a single string, and I am writing in the file. So from here to here it will form a single string, and it will be written in a file once, and because of slash n at the end it will send the cursor to the next line. When you will be writing the second time, the contents will be written from the second line. Say similar type of programs, I am taking the name and the roll number of the students and writing into the file, fine, with the slash t, with the use of the slash t. In the previous program I had used comma. Let's see how this data gets stored in the file. Name Sanjay, roll number 1, Happy, roll number 2, AARA and Karan, roll number 3. So this is repeated 3 times. Let's see how this got stored here in the file here. Now look at here, Sanjay 1, Happy 2, Karan 3. So slash, I've given slash t between the name and the roll number. So that got separated by the space slash t. But next time, for the next record, I haven't give any separator. So that is why the first record and the second record is coming together. But if you give here plus slash n, now you will find that record, every record is going to the next line, next line. Let us execute and see here. Name Sanjay, roll number 1, Happy, roll number 2, Harsh, roll number 3. Now see, let's see how this got stored in the file. Now look at it this time. It has more meaning now. Sanjay 1, Happy 2, Harsh 3. So at the end of the every record I have given /n. So because of that one, the next record is going to the next line, and because of /t there is an internal space between the Sanjay, the name of the person, and the roll number. So it is a similar type of programs where I am accepting a name of 5 person and the age, and I'm writing in a file with the cap /t and /n at the end, so that the next record goes to the next line here. Now this program is more user friendly. Here I am taking the choice from the user. As long as he wants, he can continue the program. Let's execute and see the program here. So I'm trying to open the record 11.txt in the append mode. Append mode means I will run the program. I will provide the content in the file, and once again, if I try to open the file, the previous content will be there all the time. I will show you. Let us run this one. Name is Neeraj. Enter the year of the birth 2000. You want to continue? Press 1. Yes. Then DHEERA, Dheeraj, and year of birth 2001. Press 1 to continue. I don't want to continue. 2. Now let's see this file, how it is got stored and where it got stored. Now look at here. The name of the person and the year of the birth is stored in the file. Now let us execute this program again and see what will happen. If I execute this program again, I'm entering my name and year of birth 1974, and let's see. And I don't want to continue and see the content here. Now what you find? Along with the previous content, the new one is added. So this is the benefit of the append mode here. That means along with the previous content, the new one will be added in the end of the file. So before I wind up the class, let me tell you, we have gone through little bit theory part. It was required for you all. I have explained you how to create a file, how to write into a file, and from the next day I'll be teaching you how to read a file, and by reading the file, what are the ways we can process the file. So till then, take care, bye bye, stay blessed. Thank you.